What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about JASMY today at the request of Danny P9S. We're doing this for you. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right, here we are on this, the 29th of May, sitting at about 1.72 cents. JASMY here, chilling. Looking like it, and not financial advisor, not a financial advisor, but guys, it's looking kind of sick, actually, and not in a good way. This is not the good kind of sick. It's illin', bro. No, it's ill, and it's not that good kind of ill. It's that bad kind of ill, because this is rolling over. This, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but typically when you see this kind of behavior, you just connect the dots and it looks like that, man. Oftentimes what you get is a dramatic drop. Whenever I say dramatic, I mean it's going to make you crap yourself, probably. I don't know why that's my go-to. You are outperforming the average coin, so on the bright side, I don't think that it's going to be a bad crapping, right? The crappening is not going to be that bad. It's just going to be a higher low of a crappening, right? But it will be an intense move to the downside. You will see the move down similar to this move up, but just to the downside, right? It's going to be quick. It's going to be very, very quick. That's how these rolling over moves kind of happen. I don't know why, but that's just typically what happens. Let's see if we can find an example of this somewhere else. Not really. Not really. That's more of like a solid channel down, not really rolling over. Okay, kind of here. Yeah, you can see it here, right? From the lows. You always want to go from the lows with this rolling over stuff. It kind of looks like it's rolling over. When you dropped, it was pretty quick to the downside, right? Not in one day, but still pretty quick to the downside there. And then you were done. Then you just moved sideways, and then you moved up, right? You kind of had a rolling over to the downside even here, and then look at the quick snap you had to the upside. See, it's the same thing to the upside there as it is to the downside. And I don't know what to call it. I've always called it rolling over because it looks like it's rolling over. That's what it was identified as to me whenever I was first taught that. But I don't know what else to call it, man. But anyways, wouldn't surprise me if you went down. Again, nothing too intimidating. I hope those examples at least show that it's not going to be like end of world defining kind of stuff, right? But it probably will be at the very least lower than where we are now. Low to high here, flirting with the 236 like this. You either do or you don't find support at the 236, and most of the time you don't, at least not prolonged support. Seeing this kind of reaction here like this gives me a lot of confidence that you're going to move down. I would expect you to see a quick endeavor down to the 382, which is at about 14.8, about 15 cents, a little bit lower than 15 cents, right? From here, that's about a 15% drop. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but typically with the 382, you even expect to wick a little bit below there. So maybe you do wick below there. A lot of cryptos look like they want to do like a 20 to 30% drop right now. So, or at least a 15% drop. Oh, sorry. I got to sneeze, man. And it's like I can feel it, but it's not happening. I want it to. I'm not a guy that fights off sneezes. I embrace them, but it wouldn't come. It gets painful whenever they don't come. Anyways, below the 382 is fine. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not at 14 cents. I don't know why. I thought we were at 14 cents. My dyscalculia is showing. Regardless of the percentage, still remains 15% of a drop, maybe 20% of a drop. At the most, I wouldn't expect that we go below the 0.5 at 1.32 cents. So 1.5 cents, 1.32 cents, somewhere in that area. That's where you're going to go, JASMY. Daily RSI looks to agree with that, right? I mean, if you were to find support, you would have done it already. The fact that you're at this area, you found support here, immaculate. You found support here, somewhat all right. And then here you're consolidating. Different behavior begets different results. I expect you're going to go to the downside. You'll probably find support at the 40, right? And again, it'll be probably quick. Maybe even go to the 35. This thing looks like it actually likes to find support at the 35 more than it does the 40, but that's okay. Whatever. Tomato. It doesn't matter. 1.3 cents, 1.5 cents, somewhere in that range. That's where you're going to go. Let's look at the 1 hour and the 4 hour to confirm this. The 1 hour time frame here looks like, it actually kind of looks like it wants to go up, if I'm being honest. Neutral. At the moment, bullish, but neutral still. So maybe go up a little bit, but that could have been what this move was already. You might have seen that. You're getting a lot of volume coming in, but you're not going anywhere. That's not really encouraging, right? I'm not too wooed by that, but kind of a neutral look. 4 hour RSI is neutral as well, with a bearish tilt to it as of now, but maybe you go up a little bit. It's got a kind of bullish tilt to it too. It's pretty neutral. It is a pretty neutral RSI, and that makes sense. You got a neutral price, but just I think the price action itself tells the truth, right? You're grinding out this area. Sure, you're grinding out this area too, but you kind of have a flat base with descending lows or descending highs other than this blemish here. Overall, it's still a descending high. Maybe you come up, maybe you get a quick little bull trap. You move up to 1.9 cents. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If this thing moves up to 1.9 cents, don't be wooed. It'll probably just set up to break lower, right? I'm very confident that it does break lower, but I have to admit the 1 hour and the 4 hour RSI do look a little more bullish than I anticipated. So that could provide a little bit of upside, but maybe you're just at an area like you were here to find resistance. Maybe you're at an area here like you were all these times to find resistance as well. Prior support right at this area too. So I don't know. I would expect that you do go lower. I'm not going to change that expectation. But the 4 hour and the 1 hour, I will say that they do look a little bullish. So if you can move above 2 cents, maybe I'm wrong. Get above 2 cents and then I'm wrong. But if not, I'm right. At least until you get above 2 cents. But who cares about being right or wrong? It's not a big deal anyways. Weekly RSI looks all right. It's not bad. It's neutral right now. Bearish lean, of course, because you're rejecting the 50 and you just got oversold. But nothing too crazy. Nothing too... I wouldn't be worried about this. I'm not... Weekly RSI isn't giving me enough here, but that's okay. Let's go from this low to this high and just see what we got here. Golden ratio support, 382. So yeah, this is typical stuff, man. You go from the golden ratio to your 382. Sometimes you come down, you find support at your 0.5. That's at 1.3 cents. Maybe you go to 1.3 cents. Maybe you go even lower than I was expecting. Maybe you do that and you're finding support at prior areas of resistance. Maybe even go a little bit below there and you're at 1.1 cents. I don't know. All I do expect, regardless of how low you go, I expect it to be very kind of fast. It's going to be tenacious. It's going to be a more significant drop. It's not going to meander its way down there like it's been doing, right? It's not going to just meander. It's going to actually, you're going to see a more pronounced drop than you've probably seen in a little bit of time here. That would be my expectation. But actually looking at the fibs here, it's very normal to pull back from here. You go from your golden ratio to your 382. Sometimes, obviously, you pull back and you go lower, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think you're consolidating here. If you were to pull back, if you were to go lower than this low, you would have started pulling back already. So I think you will find support at the 0.5 or somewhere above it, and then continue to break higher, continue to move higher. Once you get above 3 cents, that validates this as a low. It validates this as a momentary high and validates the notion that you are, in fact, going above that high. Not a financial advisor, but I do believe that JASMY will see higher prices than this. Let's look at JASMY's market cap. Actually, it's been a second. JASMY, hands up. JASMY coin, 851. Let's call it 852. Let's call it 850. We'll round it. Keep it to the 5s and the 10s. 850. $850 million. $35 million in minus. It's not a lot of volume. Pretty high market cap. Not the lowest market cap, but it's nothing crazy, right? You could absolutely see some crazy things with this still. I wouldn't be surprised if JASMY performed on average like with the rest of the markets, or maybe even slightly above average with the rest of the markets. If we're looking at this on a all-time history index, yes, on this kind of basis. Take a high here to a low there. Let's just see what we're doing. Bit extreme. Being above the 382 is nice. Oh, we're probably going to get below there. I don't know. I got to admit, man. I gotta admit, I actually don't know if I like this weekly RSI. The thing is, the weekly, it would look like it wants to go higher. Even if it is bad, you would at least go higher. I just don't like this fib. Going from your golden ratio, it's kind of like a double top at your golden ratio area, down to your 236. It's pretty extreme and not to the good effect. And now you're going to go below your 382 again. That's what we're expecting. I don't like that. You should show respect on this and bounce from here. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope you just move up from here, but even if you move down, I still have aspirations, hopes that you will see prices up here. But I think this is your end of June, early July kind of expectation, right? And that should be, let's see. Okay, wow, that's actually pretty good growth for JASMY. Okay, that's not bad. Pretty typical. The fact that you went down to the 236, I think, does diminish your capabilities of hitting the 886. I don't, even though technically this would be the next target area. You go from your golden ratio, that's your resistance point. You find support down here, and then this is your resistance point, your next one. But you went a little bit lower. I think the 786 might be considerable. So maybe you actually see a 7x. That's better than I thought you would get. That's better numbers. That's good. So by the end of June, early July, I would expect that. By the end of the cycle, I don't know. Let's see what we get here. Probably not that, right? Probably not that. 71x from here. I mean, a 10x is 8.5 billion. So 7 times that. Why can't I do that? Isn't that 54? Isn't 8 times 7 54? Am I doing that wrong? I think it's 54. Let's just say 54. Is that right? 8 times 7. 7 times 7 is 49, so it'd be 58, actually. 56? 56. It'd be 56. So something around $60 billion. I guess it could happen. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I guess it could happen. You could see $1.21. I certainly don't expect JASMY to be worth more. That would be kind of at the upper limits of what I would expect. Is something between like $1.20 and $1.50 probably would be the upper limits of what I would expect. I really wouldn't be surprised, you guys, if by the end of the cycle, JASMY, first off, does not see new all-time highs. It's not going to go above 240. I don't think it will. No offense to anybody who thinks that it does. That's just my perspective. I can have different perspectives than other people, and we could still be friends. It's fine. The average altcoin is expected to do something on the lines of like a 25 to a 30x. So that would take you above this high. And this is where it makes it tricky, man. This is where it really does make it tricky because now you're kind of in the middle of nowhere's land. Let's see, high to low here. So I have a problem with the idea of you stopping below 50 cents. I don't think you stop below 50 cents. So I do think you'll get above 72 cents, 73 cents. You'll probably even hit like 80 cents to $1. But that 80 cent to $1 area might provide psychological resistance, and you could stop there. If you don't stop there, I'll give it that you could see $1.21 to $1.43 by the end of the cycle. But that's it. I don't think JASMY is a 100xable coin, and the simple logic there that I have is that a 100x from here would put you at an $85 billion market cap, and most cryptos don't see that kind of market cap in their first bull cycle. Most cryptos stop somewhere between if they see a market cap that's over 20 billion, they see a market cap that's like 40 to 60 billion. That's kind of that average high end range. I say most cryptos, not most cryptos don't see that range, but I'm just saying if you were to go up that high, that'd be that kind of range. 80 billion is pushing it. No crypto sees 100 billion in their first bull market, right? XRP and Ethereum excluded. No crypto does. So as you press that $80 billion barrier, it becomes increasingly less likely that you'll continue higher. So I have a hard time seeing this thing do a 100x, but 83x, 60x, I could see that happening. At a minimum, I think that 72 to 80 cents is a good minimum target area. If not, man, let's just see. Do you have more like unlocks that could hurt it or something like that? The chart looks kind of weird. All-time history, we're going to put it in log. Fully diluted valuations, pretty close. Okay, so no more unlocks. That's good. Okay, good. So this doesn't even matter. Okay, cool. So yeah, I stand by it. I think that's accurate. I would be very shocked and very sad for the JASMY people if you didn't get even above 50 cents. But if you get above 42 cents, you're cleared to at least go to like 75 or 80 cents. With the 2272, you don't stop there. Lots of times you wick a little bit above there. That's where I'm getting these slightly higher targets than 72 cents there. If you're looking at it like, why is he saying higher than 72 cents? The target is 72 cents. No, that's a target area, but probably a little bit higher than that at a minimum, if not over $1.50 at the maximum probably. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves and prepare for a little bit of turbulence. I wouldn't be surprised with this rejection on the 50 on the weekly RSI here, with the rejection at this prior areas of support right here. Wouldn't be surprised if you had a pretty quick, intense drop, anywhere from like a 15 to 25% drop, something like that, and then you'll probably recover. All right, ta-ta, bye.